Hey everyone, just sliding in here. It's Brandon from ROA Off-Road. As you can see, we are in a winter wonderland right now. It is snowing and we brought the MDC 12. This is the 2025 MDC 12. As you can see, off-grid extreme. This thing is built different and there's some different features that weren't on the 2025 unit, okay? So in this video, we're gonna go over some things they've changed, including one thing that actually makes this thing better in cold weather, which is why we brought it up here. So let's get into it.
You know the saying, less is more? What about getting more for less? In the MDC XT12HR, you can experience camping the way it was meant to be. Away from the noise of the busy world, having quiet moments to reflect and reset. It's time to give yourself a break and escape the ordinary. And with the MDC XT12HR, escape with confidence.
Okay, so let's get into this. First off, we're up in the canyon. I don't want to say it's blizzarding, but it's hitting me in the ears. It's snowing quite a bit. It's probably in the 20s as far as the temperature goes. But I want to show you some differences on this unit that weren't on the 2024 MDC 12. We actually did a video on the 2024 MDC 12 and it has 90,000 views, maybe 100,000. So I know there's a lot of people that think this unit is cool. This is actually one of my favorite models. I'm married, have a wife, no kids yet, so I think this is a great trailer for couples. You might be able to squeeze a kid in there, but I'll show you the floor plan inside. So let's first go over to here to these components. There's a couple differences on this unit versus the 2024. First being Truma on board. So that means we have Truma Vario Heat, which is the furnace. That allows MDC or the manufacturer to duct it throughout the unit and warm up some areas that might have been weak points in previous units. It's also got the Truma Aventa AC. We don't need that right now. We actually need that Vario Heat, but the Truma AC is super quiet, it's efficient. We love that AC. And then it's also got the Truma AquaGo for as far as the water heater. So everything Truma as far as your furnace, water heater, and AC go. Tough Tracks, that's the same. Suspension doesn't need any changes. It's an awesome suspension. This one, it's actually got Tucson sway control. So it used to have the Trail Assure sway control, which was an MDC kind of in-house sway control, but Tucson is actually a brand name that we know and we trust. The Trail Assure worked great as well, but having the Tucson on there kind of gives it just like a brand name that people recognize, which is great. And then Renogy. So this thing is powered by Renogy, so the battery management systems and the batteries are all Renogy. We'll show you that inside. Come around to the front. Let's see if there's any changes here. Looks like we got the ARC jockey wheel steel. This allows us to roll it around if we need to. We got the Cruisemaster hitch. Propane up here, so that looks good. Let's do a little test now as we walk around this. So we've been driving in the snow for the past hour. This has been sitting in the snow for about 30 minutes here. MDC talks about their triple seals. We talk about the triple seals, and we always mention dust because those are kind of the small particles. But what about snow? What about rain? Is it going to get wet in there? So let's see. As you can see, there's some snow here along the seal, but it looks like it did a pretty good job keeping it out. So let's open this up. Yeah, so we're completely dry in here. Obviously there's snow getting in here now, but that is awesome. And then there's a little sneak peek at the Truma. This is the vent for that Truma Vario Heat. This is just a little storage area and it's got a light. So yeah, if you're wondering if the triple seals seal against snow or rain, the answer is yes. Now, this is one more thing they did. So as far as we're talking winter capability or 4-season capability, they've made a lot of improvements. We haven't fully tested this, so I'm not here claiming it's a total 4-seasons trailer, but it's definitely able to get into some colder temperatures. I would say in the teens, if you're going between 15 degrees to 32 or up, you're probably fine. So you can check this out. There's a little hole here, and that actually goes to your wet bay. And if I open this up, they have now recessed the wet bay. They did this on the 19 as well, so these Off-Grid Extreme editions are coming more winter capable, and that includes the water bay recessed here. MDC on the 2024 models had their wet bays on the outside, and when you get into colder temperatures, that's going to be your weak point. So I love that they do that. It's also triple sealed, so that's going to hold the heat in really well, but also keep it from getting wet or damaged. So let's walk around the back. I just want to point out real quick how cool the white and black looks in the snow. It just looks awesome. And then, yeah, these are different decals from the 2024 model. So it's going to be easy to distinguish what's a 2024 versus a 2025. 2025 Off-Grid Extreme, but also the decals have been changed to a more simplistic look, black and white, which I really like. So coming back here, it's another thing that's different. I'm going to cut this if it's not true, but this has a backup camera. I don't know if the 2024 MDC 12 specifically had a backup camera. We got an improved light up here on the back, and then also a ladder. So this actually supports your weight. I'm a heavy guy. I'm like 280 pounds, no hiding it. And this feels super solid. So if it was snowing and I wanted to try to get some solar power in here, I could come up here and scrape off the solar panels. Right now they're completely covered with snow. So that's probably not going to help us get any solar up here. It's also really cloudy. So I like that ladder just for being able to get up there on the roof. The last thing I want to point out, then we'll go inside, is underneath the trailer. And I'm going to get wet here. They've actually really improved the way they do their plumbing. So all the plumbing is recessed. You might be saying, yeah, but there's the tanks. And yeah, there's some pipes here. They're wrapped with insulated tubing, and they've actually done a really good job of putting most of the plumbing up inside. And then these tanks have heat pads on them. This is why I'm saying we probably need to test this a little bit more, but as far as getting into some high teens or 20s, those heat pads should do enough. And we'll go check inside and maybe turn those on. There's no water in this right now. We're just here to shoot some videos and some B-roll, but I love that they're doing that change, because these are an Australian design trailer. In Australia, they don't know what this white stuff is. They've never heard of it. Here in America, we deal with this every year, every winter. We got snow, we got cold temperatures. So they're making changes for the US market, which kudos to MDC. They're listening to feedback that the dealers are giving, but also your comments when you contact us and let us know what you're looking for. We pass that on to MDC, and they've done a great job this year, really making them more winter capable. Let's get out of the snow now. Let's head inside and see what else is different about this model compared to last year's. All right, let's come on inside. It's actually quite a bit warmer in here. We don't have the heater on, but it's actually doing a pretty good job just kind of maintaining temperature. But a feature I'm going to take advantage of is this coat rack right here. That's a thoughtful detail. Usually, like, you get an RV, you go to Walmart, you get some hooks and clips and stuff like that, and you kind of make it your own, but this is a really solid hook. There's 5 hooks here, and you can hang your coat. So come on in. Let's get out of the cold and into this MDC 12. So as you can see, it's a beautiful trailer in here, and like I mentioned earlier, it's ideal for couples. This kind of has everything you want. It's got the his and hers. I know my wife has one stipulation on RVs, and we'll get to that in a minute. You'll have to wait. But we got a beautiful bed. I believe it's an RV queen. I don't know if it's a residential queen. I'll put a text here if it is, but this is a queen size bed. It's beautiful. MDC has added little reading lights on each side, and they're dimmable as well, which is great. Here you also have a sitting area, which I think is ideal for couples. So there's this table, and this can move around and shift around. You can put this table on this side to give yourself more room. You can spin it like this if you really want. But if I'm sitting with my partner or significant other right there, we can enjoy a meal right here at this table. And this table removes, so if you don't need it and don't want it in your way, you can just take it out. Now I want to talk about another thing. This could be considered a weather thing. I think it's a look thing and a weather thing, which is the windows. So I'm actually going to go over here and let's talk about this window. So these windows, we'll show some shots on the outside. These are still a Eurovision window. They've just flipped the window so it's not bubbly. I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of bubbly on the older models. This one's flush on the outside. It's still a dual pane window, which is good for insulation. I can actually touch this, and I know you're just going off my word, but it's not cold, and it's cold outside. So it's doing a good job insulating. Trailers are only as good as their weakest point. Usually that's windows. Another thing about these windows is they're not glass. Like I said, they're dual pane, they're polycarbonate, so they're stronger than glass, which on an off-road trailer is just what you want. It's got these little latches, and it's got a blackout screen or like a bug screen. So you can actually open the window, pull down the bug screen, get some airflow. I'm not doing that right now because it's cold, and I'm not pulling down any of the shades because I want to enjoy the view that's outside. There's thousands to millions of pine trees out there covered in snow, and it's just peaceful. And it's great to be in a place like this with a camper because I'm inside, I'm comfortable, and I'm enjoying kind of like the benefits of being outdoors. Like maybe tomorrow morning if I wake up here, it won't be snowing and I can go snowshoeing or skiing. So there's just so many benefits to having an RV. I wouldn't want to do this in a tent, but I would love to do it in an RV. So love the look of the windows, love the insulated properties, but just love having windows as well to be able to enjoy the view, and it feels like you're outside. Now I'm going to go up here right above me and talk about that Renogy system. So everything's controlled by Renogy, so let's go to that. So up here is our Renogy control system. So it will tell you currently what you're pulling. So right now we're pulling about 26 amps. We got lights on everywhere. You can see battery, so I'm at 94%. My maximum capacity, so that's another thing I didn't mention. So in the 2024 model, like I mentioned, Life Pro batteries, and it was actually 200 amp hours of lithium. This has double the lithium, so it's 400 amp hours. It's a Renogy battery. It works really well in this system. It also tells me things like time remaining. So if I keep using the current power I'm using right now, I'll have that many hours left. So it kind of simplifies everything. And then here's the solar, which we're bringing in nothing right now. But that will tell you the solar. There's 350 watts on the roof, which is also an improvement by 50 watts from the 2024 model. Now you have a bunch of fuses here, and these switches kind of help control everything. So I got the furnace on, and then over here you can see we got the freshwater tank. So these are our tank heaters that there's a little pad on there, so that will help keep the tanks warm so they won't freeze or crack or anything like that in the winter. So that's a helpful addition as well, having those tank heaters. But really love the Renogy system, and it actually connects to a phone as well, so you can monitor your power just from your phone, and you don't have to deal with this if you don't want to. But I love I want to say it's an upgrade to the Renogy system, and also doubling your battery is pretty awesome. We're going to show a shot of that battery. It's a giant 400 amp hour battery, and then under here is the inverter. Now, there was a stipulation I mentioned earlier that my wife has in an RV. That would be the bathroom. She's refused to stay in an RV with me unless it has a bathroom in it. And that's what makes the MDC 12 great. It's lightweight. It's under I want to say, I don't have the exact weight on this, but it's between 4,500 5,000 pounds, and it has a bathroom. So we can step on in here. We got a shower, beautiful plant decorations, but we got a shower. Really like the black kind of matte finish. And another thing I really like about MDC, sometimes you make a sacrifice with a wet bath. Sometimes a wet bath is necessary. Like in a trailer like this, it's so small, you want space for your bed and the booth and the kitchen. But the fact they give you this rack, towel rack, is pretty awesome. But also this storage cabinet up here to be able to store toiletries and all of that. And this has a cassette toilet, which is great for off-grid camping because you can leave your trailer at your spot and go dump your cassette toilet. I think that's something people don't always realize, why cassette toilets are used in RVs like this. It's not because it can hold more, because a black tank will hold 30 gallons, but it's the flexibility it gives you to be able to dump it without taking your trailer all the way to a dump station. So one of the hardest parts about overlanding off-grid camping is getting a spot that you love. And once you have that spot, you want to stay there for a few days. You don't want to have to leave your spot, take your RV to the dump station, and then come back and hopefully nobody else is taking your spot. So in this case, your spot is safe because your trailer is staying there. So that's the bathroom. There's one more thing I want to point out, which is right here. This is another thing they've been doing with the 2025 models, is these little kind of drying racks, or you could do whatever you want. It's just for hanging clothes, and you can put towels up there or bathing suits, whatever you like, but I like how it just folds away and sits really flush against the wall. One more thing that my wife would really appreciate about this trailer, besides the bathroom, besides the queen size bed, besides the booth and dining area, is the kitchen. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually this. So there is a full hanging closet in here. You can see we have a couple items of clothing here just to show, but the shirt hangs without touching, and I think that's really cool to have in a trailer, especially a trailer this small, to be able to have a full wardrobe space. And then also this cabinet, and we got some stuff stored in there, but tons of space for clothes. And then because the bathroom doesn't have a mirror, they just put it here instead, so that way when you're getting ready in the morning or whatever and you want to look at yourself, you can do that right there. I know this is kind of a raw video, kind of my first impressions, but I'm trying to point out the main differences between this and the 2024 model. Now, there's one last thing that's different about this trailer. At least there's probably a lot of small changes I'm not even noticing, because MDC is so detailed. There's probably small details like where you can plug things in, outlet placement, but the kitchen is the last thing. So in the MDC 12, the 2024 model, there was just a sink, and that was it, no stove. But now they put this sink, which I really like the black finish again, just like the shower. This can close as well and become counter space. Same with the stove. So this stove is our favorite RV stove, I think, because it's super powerful. It's a 3-burner stove, and even these small burners have more output than most other RV stoves, big burners. And this big burner is like double the power of what you'd get on anything else. MDC actually has exclusive rights right now to this Thetford stove specifically. And then you can also close this. So this can become counter space during the day if you're not planning to use the indoor kitchen. Some people like just using the outdoor kitchen, which I didn't show you in this video because it's dumping snow outside. But I like having an indoor kitchen mainly for the reason that when it's cold in the morning or you get weather like this, you can do everything inside without having to try to fight the elements. Sometimes it's really windy or rainy or snowy or freezing or hot, and you just want to cook inside. So now that is an option. It's got the hood vent, which I love, and then just tons of like storage space, which in a trailer that's 12 feet, a 12-foot box is, I'm actually impressed with how much storage they give you. So that is the 2025 MDC 12. This is the Off-Grid Extreme Edition because it's got double the lithium. It's got more solar on the roof. It's got an indoor kitchen, And all the changes I went over today, those are kind of the main differences. This unit is perfect for a couple that's not looking for anything massive, just wants a comfortable camper with a bathroom in it. That's a hard roof, no canvas. This is the perfect trailer. So if you're interested in this trailer, there's going to be a link below for more information. You can go there and learn all about this trailer. If you want to see this trailer in person, we have locations all over the US. We have a location in Arizona, Colorado Springs, South Carolina, and where we are, Utah. So we have 4 locations across the US. If you want to see one of these in person, reach out to us. We'll have it linked below, or scan the QR code on the video. That will go straight to our contact us, and you can see if this is available near you. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hope that helped you kind of dial in what the differences are for 2025, and hope you have a good day.